Picture that Fritz had in the paper that shows those 4 cars behind that house there at Lazy Bear.
Yeah.
Those cars may very well have been men that were talking about opening up the Edison mine. That's just about the same time. There was Charlie O'Connor, there was Steve Guerin, there was a fellow named Judkins, and there was the Krishna brothers. And my dad was in on some of the work. And I think probably those cars, that could have been what those cars was doing there.
Now, was that the early 1930s or late 20s?
Early 1930s.
Okay.
Opening up the Edison mine up Midnight Anchor.
That had been abandoned by the Edison group a long time ago, hadn't it?
It's been abandoned quite a while. Then during the Depression, they thought they'd start it up again. Steve Guerin was a Russian of Russian descent, and when he came here, he was driving a black Auburn convertible. And you talk about something pretty. It was beautiful. It had the old suicide doors that opened up like bat wings to the front.
Wasn't one of the old boat tails, was it?
I cannot shoot truthfully, Chris. It was about probably when Steve Guerin came. It was between 1930 and 1934, along that era.
Okay.
And then they built the Heartbreak Mill down here, the other side Terrace Towers, and they were going to process gold or ore from the Memphis mine down here at the mill. And Steve Guerin put up the money. Charlie O'Connor was a promoter, and Judkins was his sidekick.
Did they ever really process anything there with it?
They processed it. I don't think it wasn't profitable, so they ran out of money. But there was a little tiny kid on there.
Well, most all of the mines I've read about just didn't make it, except they said black copper was really.
I'm talking about the businesses.
Oh, well, you're right.
It's hard to make a living here.
You're right.
Still
is.
Well, most people come to town still looking for gold.
Yeah,
Don't they?
that's true.
They find fool's gold.
Stars in their eyes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a rude shock for them.
It really is.
This town hasn't really changed that much, has it, John? In terms of, it's the same kind of mentality a lot of people come to town with.
Yep. Stars in their
I'm
eyes.
going to get it rich, quick.
Stars in their
And a
eyes.
lot of
Lady up
times,
at the Emma's in San Luis said that mine had a cutoff of 0.3 of an ounce of gold to a ton of rock.
Gosh.
It says to me that if there's any gold here in the Red River, somebody would be up there mining it. There must not be any.
I don't think there is any.
You
There
can't
was
even-
gold here in Placer Creek. And during the Depression, when I went to school up here, I went to the river for water up there, right where Wayne Kidd has his shop. Right there was a footbridge. And there were 2 guys coming down that, they call that Prospector Trail, coming down, and they stopped to visit with me. And they had aspirin bottles that were full of little gold nuggets, and they gave me one about the size of your little fingernail. Just about the thickness of a
Gary
knife.
Starbuck and Don Carmichael panned all one summer up there. And they got a little aspirin bottle full of
And that's what
gold.
these guys had.
Not much for a summer's
There's-
work. Because I don't know how much drinking we did.
no, there really wasn't enough of any value to make anything. Colorado mining camps all developed into more. This never, Red River never.
We were a
really
camp, not a town.
Really didn't get more out of a camp.
And what's the difference between the camp and the town?
Not permanent.
Wasn't permanent, and you know, in
Okay.
Colorado they had rock buildings, or lots of them.
Masonry building, brick
Masonry.
building.
Okay.
Victorian architecture.
Gotcha.
Well, I
Right.
kind of got the feeling that Red River got to be a town because of land speculators as much as anything.
That's part of it.
That's right.
It's
part of it.
kind of reading between the lines, it was like the gold was the lure.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got
Yeah.
people in, and wasn't it a Colorado group that, out of Colorado Springs or
I've
something, that
heard
got
that
into it
story.
with the Millettes?
Yep, I've heard that story.
I've read this story, but I didn't know how valid it was.
Yeah, I think it's true.